What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Medical Sales Live. All right. So, I got a good one for you today, and I have to give credit where credit is due. Big shout out to one of the best MedTech recruiters that I know of, Mike Moore, who I was speaking to earlier and brought this up. And it's a topic that I actually wanted to cover, but I completely forgot about. So we're going to cover that today. That's going to be our main agenda topic. Of course, with any questions that people in my program have, I'll be answering them. And as always, you know how this show goes, right? There's some, oh, you know what? See, there you go. Cheyenne, am I the first to comment here? Yeah, you are the first to comment. Fantastic. Well, Cheyenne beat everybody to it, but as always, right? Do you guys know what's coming up? What am I going to ask? What am I going to ask? What city are you joining from? And I usually have that up as a banner. There you go. Drop in the chat what city you're joining from, whether you're watching on Zoom or StreamYard. Again, we're live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So, Scott Tegger with the wave emoji. What's up, Scott? Thanks for joining. So, drop in the chat what city you're joining from, and we'll get started shortly. Okay. And as always, if you like what I'm doing, do me a favor. Aside from sharing the feed, hit that emoji button. That's how we help, this show get seen. I see the emojis coming up. Love the emojis. Fantastic. All right, we got Phoenix, Arizona. I think that's Gaida. Hey, Gaida. Gaida's been blowing up. She's been killing it. Aside from LinkedIn, her posts and brand has been growing fast on LinkedIn. She already had like many thousands of followers already on Instagram. So she's doing a great job storytelling from the field. Patrick Hunter coming from Motor City. Hey, Patrick. Mike from Hermosa Beach. God, that's a beautiful area. Fantastic. Dick Pepper. Hey, Dick. Great to see you, man. It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well. Dick's joining in from Nashville on the LinkedIn app. That's great. Fantastic. Heath Chapman, just discovered you and love your podcast. What is the topic today? Hey, Heath, welcome. Welcome to the show. Glad you like the podcast. If you like it, make sure, give it 5 stars, write a review. So today's agenda topic, Heath, is going to be how do you get notified immediately when your customer posts? Right? Very important as to why that. I'm going to walk that through. But of course, I'm going to take questions from people in my program. And if there's time, if somebody asks a good question on LinkedIn, I might answer that as well. Of course, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, you guys know what I mean. Shane Jones, regular. Shane coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. What's going on? Heath from, I'm going to mess that name up already. Sammamish, Washington. I think I'm going to name, if I have a dog in the future, I'm going to call him Sammamish. That's a great name. I probably butchered that. All right, so let's get into it in terms of the topic of the day, okay? And let me pull up the correct banner for that. So the key is how to get notified when your surgeon posts on LinkedIn. Very important. Why is this important? Because when it comes to LinkedIn, really any social media, but specifically LinkedIn, you want to be the first to be able to go and leave a meaningful comment. And the reason why is that you get this coveted position of the most relevant comment. You don't always have to be first, but that definitely helps. But again, the most important thing is whether you're immediately first or you just, end up commenting at some point, you want to start developing familiarity with your customer. And forget about customer. This could be for an investor you're trying to get a hold of, a CEO, whatever it might be, right? So I'm going to walk you through this. And the best part is that I have access to a surgeon's LinkedIn profile. I'm going to show you in real time what this looks like, okay? So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So I'm going to share screen on Zoom, and I'm going to share screen here on StreamYard. Let's get this going. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's start out with the home, okay? So if we look, all right, and you could see, let's scroll through and let's find some posts. So great example of this. And again, is it surprising that this is coming from one of the more talented people in my program, the Medical Sales Never Effects, Gaida Loveras, who's blowing it up. Again, she's doing a great job, with her content, but also engaging. So here, Kevin Burns has a clinical post, okay? and already he's gaining some traction, 22 likes, 3 comments. And so Gaida, made sure to comment on this. As might be a customer of hers, but more importantly is that when you're scrolling on LinkedIn, let's say you're a surgeon, right, or any type of customer you're trying to look for, when you're connected to them, you're going to immediately see that she commented on this, and whether you're connected or not, she's got that most relevant spot right there, right? That's the important thing, okay? And so again, like, for example, let's look at Justin Welsh. So Justin Welsh has a huge following. A good friend of mine. I got to give a shout out to him because his course, but also just his company. He's a solopreneur. He really inspired me to start my own company this year. So I got to give a shout out to Justin for, giving me great advice early on. But again, like, if we go to the comments section, right? Here we go. The most relevant is this guy, right? And so even though he commented on this 2 hours ago, so other people commented a while back, there are certain things that he did here, right, that got him to be the most relevant, which is at the very top. And keep in mind, there's 63 comments. He's at the very top. This is free advertising, okay? Now, look at this post. This one's a great comment, right? A lot of good stuff, but why did this one, with how long it is and the number of likes, not get ranked above this? There's a variety of reasons. One is, this guy is a connection of mine, so it's more relevant for me to see his comment than this guy. But also, Avish made sure to comment with just his name, right? So there's a lot of things in terms of growing your network and everything that makes it important. Now, let's talk about the most important thing, which is focusing on the person who posted. So the first thing that you want to do is go to your notifications. So if you go to your top and see this notifications, this little bell right here, you're going to click that. And on here, you're going to see all your notifications, okay? Now, in the notifications, you're going to see your notification settings. You can improve your settings because if you follow a lot of things, you're going to get a lot of stuff here, right? Now, you want it to be relevant to what's important to you in growing your business. So go to your notification setting, and you can choose like, okay, so for enterprise product, I really don't care about getting notified about enterprise products in LinkedIn. I'm going to turn that off. Help center. Turn that off. Because again, you don't want a bunch of notifications that are irrelevant to you before you get to the one that's important, which is, did my customers post today, right? Jobs. I'm not looking for a job right now, so I turned this off because I run my own business, right? You might want to turn that on or off. So go through and customize what you want turned on. Premium, annual subscription reminder, I don't need that. Free trial, yeah. Payment decline, I don't need notifications on that right now. So I'm turning all those things off on my profile. New followers, I do want that. Skills endorsements, I really don't care. Who's viewed my profile? Maybe unlocked LinkedIn or, courses, live office hour learning events. So again, you have to go through and customize this. Now, how do you get notified of the customer, okay, when they post? The old way was literally, and we're going to use my father, who's a general surgeon, his profile. The old way is you would go, copy this link, maybe you save it as a bookmark, and then you just have to check it every day. Let me show you the new way. If you go to somebody's profile, whether you're on mobile or on desktop, LinkedIn released this new feature called notifications. Okay? They didn't just release it. They've had this out for more than a few months now. But here's that little bell. And when you click that, it says get notified of all Mazen's posts. So I'm going to click that on. Okay? So now I'm being notified of all his posts, and then if I click it again, I'm notified just about his main post. But I'm gonna turn it on so I'm notified about all his posts. Okay. So now that's on. I'm going to refresh the page. Now here's what you guys have never seen, which is what does it look like on a surgeon's LinkedIn? Well, I got my dad's login, and he was very kind to let me use it for this experiment. And so now we're on his profile. So there he is. That's his profile. And again, as you saw right away, again, because I make sure that I use the right hashtags, I engage in a certain way. So no matter what day it is, when he logs in, he's going to see content from me. Like already he sees, I'm going to give that a heart. That's cheating a little bit, but that's okay. He sees my live stream going on right now. Okay. But if we scroll down, he'll see other things, again, things that are coming from me. Okay. So now we're going to do a test. I'm going to make a post as my dad. I'm going to say, this is a test of the notification feature. Go to your customers' profile and click the bell icon. And I'll just tag, I'll just put my name, okay? And let's just put a couple of hashtags, medical devices. And actually, let's just do an experiment. Let's see if this was helpful. Please like this post. Let's just see if we can get somebody to like it. Okay, so let's just put a few hashtags. Okay, so now I'm going to click post. All right. So of course, and LinkedIn's going to make a recommendation based on the content you look at. So my dad's part of the Laparoscopic Urology Society. So if he wants to join that, he could. I'm going to click join. Why not? So now he posts that. Okay, and now, oops, let's go back. So I'm going to refresh the page. Okay, so now I'm refreshed. As soon as it goes, okay, and again. My point earlier, if you practice putting out content a few times a week, commenting, every time your surgeon, your customer logs in, they're going to see something from you. This is the name of the game. When it comes to persuasion, the way it works, it's very simple. Whatever whatever we put our attention towards has importance. And part of getting attention is getting in front of somebody, right? And so again, if you're logged in as a surgeon, he's going to see this piece from me, scrolling down. Let's see when he sees another piece from me. Scrolling down. Again, he's seeing other doctors he's engaged with. Again, he already sees another thing from me. That's 2 impressions within just a few seconds, right? So now let's go back to my profile. Okay, so now I'm home on my LinkedIn profile. And guess what? We have a notification. Hopefully this works. LinkedIn, please don't let me down. Okay, so you log in. And there it is. Look. At the very top, hey, Mazen shared a post. This is 50 seconds ago. So imagine this is your customer. It's a surgeon that you're trying to get in front of. Maybe it's the CEO of a hospital. It's an investor, whatever. Great. I'm going to go to that post. Boom. Look at this. Primo real estate, my friends. Nobody's engaged with this. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave an emoji. I'm going to like the piece. I'm going to comment. I'm going to use his full name at Mazen Khatib. Okay. Let me put, somebody was trying to call me. Great post. Where have you used this? Now I'm just having a conversation with myself, but I'm just trying to, highlight a point here. So now I've immediately within the first minute commented, liked it, right? And then let's go back to the surgeon's profile. So the surgeon's on, let's say does a little surgery. Maybe he's in the surgeon's lounge, checks his notifications. Okay. Hey, I got a like and a comment. So at the very top, look, he's getting a notification about me because I was the first one to comment on this post. So guess what? I'm going to click it. And as a surgeon, look, nobody's liked it yet or anything. This happens all the time. Here's this comment. So what is he going to do? If you ask a question that's valuable, they're going to reply back. They're going to say, hey, I use it mainly with surgeons who I want to follow and see their posts first. Okay? Done. Okay? Now, let's we're going to come back to this post. Let me give it a few minutes and show you the impressions on it, okay? Now, this is key though, because now in LinkedIn, if we refresh the post, okay, what's LinkedIn trying to do? Think about this. LinkedIn, let's go back to the homepage. How does LinkedIn make money? Every social media platform makes money by you spending more time on there. If it's free, you're the product. Always remember that. So LinkedIn makes more money by me staying on here. So if I'm engaging Dr. Khatib, and he's engaging me back, I'm making sure to stay on LinkedIn and to keep him on LinkedIn longer, and same with him. So guess what LinkedIn's going to optimize for? So when I go to my notifications bell, again, this is what it usually happens in real time. Dr. Khatib responded back. I'm going to go back to this post. I'm going to like it, right? And here again, here's how LinkedIn makes money. Look. See this, even though, by the way, if you're a marketer, do not spend money on this. This is a waste of money. But LinkedIn makes money from these ads. Look at this on the side, right? Now, if we go back to the post, we refresh it, okay? LinkedIn's algorithm is starting to say, oh, Dr. Khatib and Omar, they like each other's content. So anytime Omar posts, we should show it to Dr. Khatib, even though Dr. Khatib is not following him, right? Now, already within 2 minutes, it's not a lot of data, but 15 impressions, right? And likely a good amount of those are coming. See, there's not enough data on this quite yet. A lot of it's coming just because I'm going back and forth on it. But that'll gain some momentum. And again, that's how you get a lot of visibility to your customers and your customers' network. Okay. Now, how does this look like on a larger scale, right? If we go to a profile, okay, let's look at a piece of content that was really valuable, and I'm going to take a wild guess that LinkedIn's going to be advertising their own content on it. But here's a piece of content that I posted a while back. Yeah, so LinkedIn's trying to put, if some piece of content is really good, like this one's got, almost 100,000 impressions on it, LinkedIn's going to take advantage of it for themselves and not like allow other advertisers on here because they're trying to like make money first, right? But that's how LinkedIn's going to be making money. So again, the key to this, and again, if we go to notifications, right? My dad's one person that I'm following, but let's see, if I scroll down, so here's some people who I like to be notified by just because I like their content. So like Alex Lieberman, Alex Hormozy, Jeremy Miner, right? But for yourself, and let me come back and just take a couple of questions. For yourself, the way you need to think about this is that by going and hitting that little notification bell on your customer's profile, and think about this, you might have 10 customers, 15, something like that. Not all of them will post every single day, but at least by doing this, you're notified when your own customer is posting and when your prospects are posting. Because the last thing that you want is when your own customer posts and you don't know that, a week goes by and your competitor goes and likes the post. That's another key, and let me type that out. Use bell notification to know when your competitor's customer posts. Then engage with them. Right? Use the bell notification on LinkedIn because then the surgeon you're trying to convert over, part of it is just for them to gain familiarity with you, with your product, etc. So start developing that cognitive reciprocity, right? Reciprocity is a powerful form of persuasion, meaning if I do something nice for you, you're going to do something nice for me. So just by going and engaging with these pieces of content, there's no difference. The brain does not know the difference between somebody commenting on a post versus somebody bringing you coffee versus somebody, doing something else nice. All of it is dopamine related. So you make sure that you have a little bit of dopamine being released when you're engaging with that prospect, and a little bit over time, you can develop that relationship. And, after just a couple times of doing that, it makes it so much easier when you send a direct message to say, hey, really like your content. I'd love to just, talk to you about the product that I have, right? I don't recommend going for the jugular right away because then it's, sales is a process, right? As Jim Surik always says. And so part of it is it's a game. So you need to not be like trigger happy and just like when something's going good that you immediately go in for that ask, right? You have to charm it a bit, right? So I hope that's helpful. So that aside, let me go to the chat and let's see. I didn't have any questions submitted. So if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And let me go to my program and see. Does anybody have a question? Mike Moore actually has a question. So Mike, I'm going to bring you on. All right. You are live. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hey Omar, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good. So I do have a question about this. Is there any way to set this up so that we can not just get the notifications in our notification folder within LinkedIn, but actually get an alert on our phone?
That's a great question, and potentially, and actually, let's find out right now. Unless you know the answer to that, and that was like a softball question, because I
I
actually
would
did.
not. No,
Oh, okay.
I would
So
not.
so let me give you an let me actually check. So I'm going where I'm checking is going into the LinkedIn app on my phone, and then if we go to notifications, so I'm turning it on. Ah, okay. Yeah, so that's so let me share my screen and show you guys how to get this on your phones, because that's a great question. So, and again, we'll see if it actually works here. So you're gonna go under, let's see, you're gonna go under your profile. You're gonna go to settings and privacy. And from Mike, for those who are wondering, this is Mike Moore. So Mike Moore is an executive recruiter. So there's going to be certain customers he wants to know when they post. So you're going to go here. You're going to go under communications. Okay. So on LinkedIn, that's how you can manage your notifications there. By email. Okay. Here's the notification. Let's look under network. Okay. If we turn this on, we can do an automatic one. Let's see. Invitations to connect. Nope, nope, nope. So it's probably going to be updates and changes in your network. Let's check one other thing. Yeah, so it's going to be under your network, right? But that's for email. In terms of push notifications, here we go. Again, we're under communications and we're under the push notification side, okay? So then if we go to push notifications, we look at network. We have this turned on. So what I would say is activities you've missed, I don't need to know that. Whoops. Badge alerts, connection invitations, a lot of this stuff you don't need to know. So let's start scrolling down and see. Post recommended by admins, group post by members. This is a long list, but I think, yeah. So if I had to take a guess, it's going to be activities from your connections. So I would say go to your communications, go to, and let me just go back so everybody sees it. To get the notification when, again, if somebody who you turn notifications on that you're following, go to your communication setting, go to push notifications, go to your network, and then turn that on, turn everything off, and I would turn on activities from your connections. Because then what LinkedIn's going to do is going to prioritize that push notification based on who you want to hear from. But then the last thing, Mike, is very important. Make sure to go into your phone, okay? Go to your settings, type in LinkedIn. When you find LinkedIn, you're going to find the notifications button. Click it on and say allow notifications, right? And then you'll be able to
Receive
pick,
it.
yeah, to receive it. And even actually from your phone, there's this thing that says LinkedIn notification settings. When you click that button, it goes straight to the communication setting just on your phone, and you can actually customize it that way.
Got it. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Yeah, no
That's great.
problem. Great question. Thank you so much. All right. Great question. Let's go back to LinkedIn and see, does anybody else, are there any other questions? And let me take a look. I actually just had it up and I closed it by accident, which is I always use my questions document. But if you have a question on LinkedIn or a comment, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and let's take a look. I don't have too many questions today from members of my group. And as always, let me see. All right, we're getting some questions, mainly comments from YouTube and Twitter. right. So for those who are asking, or at least I got one direct message. So if you want to learn more about the Medical Sales Network Effects program, in this live stream, there's a link. My camera's jumping up and down a lot. There's a link to actually go and watch a free webinar training. You can't just buy the program and get into it. You have to actually submit an application and be evaluated. But go watch that webinar. A lot of people get great ideas from that webinar. Just, they actually get great results. There's a couple people on this live stream who are not in the program, but just that free webinar helped them a lot in their career. Go watch that, and then when you watch it, you get a free LinkedIn profile consult with me. So you can just book time with me. We'll see if you're a good fit for the program, and if you're not, either way, you're going to walk away with a great analysis on your LinkedIn profile. So let me go over to the Google Doc and take a quick look and see. I see a lot of people on the live stream. At least I see like a good amount like on LinkedIn, and I think the other ones are YouTube and Twitter, but pretty quiet. So I think people are just hanging out and enjoying the show, which is totally okay. All right. Here we go. Let's see. What questions do we have? All right. Okay. Looks like we don't have any questions there. So anybody on LinkedIn, any questions so far? And again, Heath Chapman, thank you so much for the kind words about the content in the podcast. If you follow the podcast, the State of MedTech, do me a favor if you haven't already. Subscribe to it, give it 5 stars, write a review. That really helps the podcast reach a lot of people. I'm trying to break the top 10 medical podcasts, and so doing that really does help. Let me go back to my program. Is there anybody on the Zoom who has any questions? Just submit in the Q&A box on the chat section, or just raise your hand. Raise your hand, I'll bring you on live. All right. Well, it looks like today, every time I'm about to wrap up, I always get a question coming in at the very last second. But we might end early. It's been a few weeks. Usually I've been on these things for like an hour long. Today we might end early. So if you don't have a question to drop in the chat, that's the biggest thing again. And actually, let me take a look at something. Okay. So for those who are interested, okay, this is what I would do next. Your next steps with this. Develop your customer list. So for those who are sales reps watching, okay, and let me bring up the banner for the question. So develop your list of your current customers. Always start, again, it's great to grow revenue. Most important thing first, though, is driving utilization and making sure that you're driving customer success. So you got to make sure your own customers are taken care of before you start looking for new business. So go to the surgeons who are customers of yours, physicians, whatever you sell, turn on the notification bell, go to their profile and click that little bell icon. Get your customers first, because you want to make sure that you're engaging with them and showing them love and supporting them, okay? And then you can develop your list of prospective customers, maybe somebody who your competitor has, and then go turn those on, right? And just as an example, I just want to show you guys. Let's see if I can bring up a post. But this topic here. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll show you. I got a perfect example of, like, let's call this money on the table, right? So let me share my screen, okay? Let me show you exactly how big of an opportunity or risk this is. Look, here's a spine surgeon, right? He posted this 3 hours ago, okay, about I guess one of his patients. So again, these doctors are busy. They're not posting this stuff just for the hell of it. And there's no comments. Barely 3 people liked it. My question is, where is this person's rep? Why aren't there should be at least 3 or 4 comments from reps and other vendors who are selling to this guy because I guarantee you that he's doing high volume if he's a spine surgeon, right? Nowhere to be seen. Look, let's kind of keep going, and actually let's look at I'll look at a specific hashtag. Let's look at orthopedic surgery, because the orthopedic surgeons are definitely posting a lot of their cases. Hey, here we go. Look, Moby Parsons. Moby Parsons doing a great job with his content, by the way. He posted this. He's got 65 comments. Again, how much you guys want to bet? All right, great. This guy, Jamie Sites, market development manager, great job commenting, right? But again, if we keep scrolling, most of these people are other doctors, right? Joe Testa, all right. So it looks like some people are actually taking some of the strategies I talk about into account and doing it, which is great. But let's go back to that hashtag. So that was posted a few days ago. Obviously, if you have a post that's that popular, look at that. Guy de Lovera is already popping up on the orthopedic feed. That's impressive. Great dog, by the way. Look, Gaida is in the orthopedic space, and she's in spine surgery. Look, I've seen one piece of content from her. I've seen a second piece of content from her, right? Like, that's how you start dominating a feed and making sure that your personal brand, your professional brand, is starting to be seen by everybody, okay? Let's see. I'm trying to find a surgeon. Let's see if I'll scroll down if we can't find any more. Look, Guided, there she is, popping up again. And like, this is the key to essentially developing a network. Connect with as many surgeons and people in your network as you can. Post consistently, be good about it. And Guided's not putting out a piece of content every single day, right? But look, she's already popped up 3 times. If I was a surgeon and I'm looking through this feed, you don't think that's going to have an impression on me, so that when she tries to book a meeting with me, I'm going to say, oh yeah, like, I know who this person is. As simple as that sounds, like, that's the game right there, my friends. All right, look, another great example. Although this is a terrible post, this guy, he essentially posted this long post, and he has a link to Instagram. There's no picture and everything. It's only 2 likes. This guy's rep, this surgeon's rep, what should be happening is that this person's rep should be messaging them and saying, hey, doc, I love your post, but like, here's how you should be doing it on LinkedIn, helping them, and at the very least, going and just leaving a comment, being visible, right? Here you go, this guy who's a medical director, there's 10 comments. Okay, that's good. But let's see who the 10 comments are. I bet you most of them, of course, Matthew Ray Scott. Game recognized game, right? Matthew Ray Scott, him and Eric Anderson have a really nice program, the Medical Sales RX, which is a mastermind group. I recommend checking it out. People ask me all the time, like, oh, should I go into your online training program or should I do that one? I recommend both of them, my friends. Both. They're great programs. You're going to learn a lot, right? Let's see. So I think you guys got the point here. Here we go. Look, here we go. Here's a surgeon. He's a researcher, right? Posts his most recent paper. 30 likes. There's 1 comment. Who's the 1 comment? Another doctor. Why isn't this person's rep or somebody from the companies that serve this person engaging with this content, right? So that's the free money on the table. So hope that was helpful. Let me come back. I don't think we have any more questions. Oh, we do have a comment. Let's see. What is the comment? The comment from Israel Hall. And Israel, by the way, your profile is hidden, so you need to make that public. So Israel Hall, question is, if an MD wants to transfer to med device, then what position would be suited for them? Israel, can you comment? Can you share like more about that? Like, what do you mean by if they want to transfer? If you want to say like a practicing surgeon who wants to go into the med device. So I'm gonna wait for Israel to comment. But in case he's not on, I'm gonna assume that what that means is when a doctor wants to change practice, like change careers and go into med device, what will be a good role for them? It depends on how far along in their career. If they went to medical school and they have an MD, but they didn't go to residency, or say they did go through residency, and they want to just get into med device, Believe it or not, I recommend them starting off as a clinical salesperson, clinical specialist. Like, is it an entry level role? Yes, but as a physician, you are not taught anything about business in school or in medical school or anything, and so that's a great way to learn the business inside out. Now, if the physician is, let's say, more into their practice, I'm gonna give a great example. Dr. Qasim Butt. Many of you have seen him on LinkedIn. Qasim has been a practicing interventional nephrologist for 10 years. He's not going to go be a sales rep. And so when you have clinical experience like that, at that point, what makes sense is for them to go be a medical director for a company, maybe head of clinical. If it's a surgeon and they want to, for whatever reason, get into a med device, it could be training, right? But for the physicians who are out there, what I also recommend, unless again, you've been a chair at a company and you can start throwing your way to try and be a chief medical officer, for example. Most physicians, just because you were a doctor for a long time, that doesn't mean that some company, a MedTech company, is going to immediately give you a VP or director role. It's just not going to happen. Me personally, if a MedTech company has come to me and said, hey, this doctor who's been practicing for a year or two wants to get into med device, I would not recommend making them a VP because there's a lot of education and training experience that comes along with that. Right, but everybody's different, so that's what I would recommend. And again, the thing that I most caution is the people who left medical school and have an MD, but let's say didn't go to residency. They need to, taper their expectations in terms of what kind of role they're going to get. You can't, just because you have an MD doesn't mean that a company is going to give you a director or VP level role. That just doesn't happen, even a manager's role. So it just really depends. Great question, Israel. Love it. Let's see. Any other questions? Any other questions at all? Feel free to drop it in the chat. It's a little quiet over on Zoom, so people are hanging out, but I think that might be the last question. So I think that's the last question for today. Again, if you want to learn more, check my features section or the notes in this post. If you think you got what it takes, you are in medical sales and you want to take, or let's say you're a medical sales rep, or you're a sales leader, marketing leader, a founder, but you want to learn how to do digital selling. You want to learn how to persuade at scale. You might be a fit for my program, the Medical Sales Network Effects program, but everybody's got to pay the toll. Go watch my free webinar training. You'll learn a lot from it, and then you have a link to book time with me to get a free LinkedIn consult. During that time, I'll evaluate whether you're a fit for the program or not. Looking forward to seeing you. And as always, thanks to everybody for jumping on. Hey, no technical difficulties today. It's fantastic. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.